This is my first contest response video submission. My name is Mike, I'm from New Jersey. I am the vintage composer, and I just started about a couple months ago putting up videos showcasing my building of master top sets, starting from the 1954 set. We're going to go all the way through the 80s, and slowly putting together videos and slowly gaining somewhat of an audience. Hope to gain more, of course. This video, which I wasn't ready to do just yet, but I got enticed by the ticket Leprechaun. So Jake, thank you for allowing me to submit some of my autographs from Hall of Famers. I checked out your channel not that long ago. I subscribed. I enjoy your videos. I enjoy the fact that you have vintage stuff as well as the newer stuff, and you share your knowledge with the community, and you and those who get it in terms of sharing stuff with the younger kids like yourself. I think it's important for the hobby, so I appreciate that and I thank you for that. And I think I'm going to start with the Bible verse before we get into the good stuff here, and I wrote it down. John chapter 21, 15 to 17. We read how Jesus asked Peter 3 times, "Peter, do you love me?" Peter answered, "Yes, you know I love you." And Jesus said, "Feed my lambs, tend my sheep, feed my sheep." And of course, lamb and sheep refer to the people that Peter reaches as he moves about preaching. But it's the words feed and tend for me mean to take care of them in whatever way they're in need. Compassion, understanding, teaching, hunger, shelter, and teaching, of course, is the important part for me. You know, neighbors looking out for one another. It kind of comes full circle. So that's something I reflect on daily. So that being said, let's talk about baseball. Let's talk about some Hall of Fame stuff. And actually, I want to thank you, Jake, for letting me kind of find my database of autographs that I have, and reminding me that I have a couple that I forgot about, including this Ken Griffey Jr. from 2006 Upper Deck Ovation. It's a really cool cut auto there. And I also have 1962 Topps Early Win, right there in the middle, who I met at a show in Las Vegas a long time ago. And this is the only card I had of him back then. And he was very gracious. So got those two that I forgot I had. So that's kind of cool. This is a cool little piece, which I worked on for many years. One of the first card shows I ever went to in the mid-'80s. I picked up this 8x10 of our favorite Yankees back then. I had all three gentlemen sign it. Mr. Mattingly, around the corner from where I live, actually. And then I got Ricky to sign it, and he was very happy to see this photo of his friends. He says, best time he had in baseball with the Yanks. And then I got Dave Winfield to sign as well. So I got these two guys, and maybe one day we'll do a video 10 years from now or so when these other guys who we think should be in the Hall of Fame get in, and we'll have to redo all our counts. So there's two more there. I picked up this Mets book back in 1986, just prior to them winning the World Series. It was released as their 25th year of the team's existence. They had another one that came out after they won the championship, in which the cover is in gold. And there's an addendum about the championship, the postseason, and some more pictures. And in this, we have, who do we have? We have Yogi, who was a coach, of course. Yogi Berra, he was manager as well, part of the '73 pennant-winning team. And longtime broadcaster for the Mets, but also very important part of the Pittsburgh Pirates team. It's a slugger, Hall of Famer Ralph Kiner. And everyone remembers Kiner's Corner, of course, watching Mets games growing up. So I got those guys. Now, Roger Clemens is not in the Hall of Fame yet, right? He might be. But inside here, a new guy, Jack Morris. I met him last year, just after the announcement of him being inducted, to congratulate him. He was very gracious and generous, spending some time. So Jack is in, along with his buddy Alan Trammell. Some magazines. I'm going to do a video later on with all my magazines that were signed, a lot of Sports Illustrateds, but we have some Hall of Famers. Tony Gwynn, of course, miss him. big unit, who was in the beginning of the video. Randy, a very important player to get an autograph if you haven't yet. And another really important guy, Brooks Robinson, who I forgot signed All Century Team as a separate note there on my autograph. And he's a really great guy to meet, a really important player in Orioles history. So Brooks Robinson, 83 Hall of Fame. What else do we have here? We're going to save this for last. A lot of in-person and through the mail autographs. Let's see if we can do this here. And we'll start with all the guys who wound up being managers. And if I zoom in a bit, we might be able to get a better look at everybody. Bob Lemon, longtime ace of the Indians. Tommy Lasorda, got him in spring training. Earl Weaver through his foundation. Sparky Anderson through the mail. Foundation autograph of Tony La Russa. Pick that up. And on the other page, who doesn't love Whitey Herzog, right? And there's Whitey there. There's two of them actually. Cool. And then players. Scooter Rizzuto on the top left. And his teammate Whitey Ford. So Scooter and Whitey. The big time pitcher in Gaylord Perry. The killer, Harmon Killebrew. The inspiration for the MLB logo silhouette. And Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks, who was a character. And the heater from Van Meter, Bob Feller. Would have loved to watch him pitch. Bobby Doer, two cards there. And the Goose, Richard Gossage. And lefty on the bottom, Steve Carlton. Plus a couple of Al Kalines. And a Duke Snyder. There's Duke. Cool. Alan Trammell. Hawk Andre Dawson. Mr. Warren Spahn, met him at the same show in Vegas. He was a cool dude. And I know he's not part of the Players Hall of Fame, but just a note there. Ernie Harwell, the great broadcaster of the Tigers. Newcomer Harold Baines. And Mike Mussina. Trying to get the glare there. And one more in the book. And that's Tim Raines, really underrated leadoff hitter, 800 stolen bases, kind of in the shadow a bit of Rickey Henderson, but a really, really good player in his own right. And those are those guys. And then what we have here, the majority of which are in this book, part of the same set, 1984 Donruss Champions. It was a 60-card set, kind of an oddball set, but nice big cards, big pictures, and one living player away from getting all of them signed. So if anybody knows Hal McRae, send him my way, please. Jim Rice, who I met in person. Of course, not all these guys are Hall of Famers, but I'm going to point out the Hall of Famers to you. Hank Aaron I met. That was quite a treat. Reggie and Yaz, whose grandson just made his debut for the Giants. Michael Jack Schmidt, everybody's got him. He's a great guy. Great player, too. Who we have down here? We have George Brett and Wade Boggs. Really fun to meet those guys. There's Hal. He's empty. He doesn't have any autograph yet. But Eddie Murray does. 500 home run club there. Rod Carew. And not yet, but he might be, right? Pete Rose, we hope. Tony Perez is in, and he wrote Hall of Fame 2000 on his inscription. Gaylord Perry we saw already, but Ferguson Jenkins we didn't. And fellow 3000 Strikeout Club member Phil Necro, they both added their Hall of Fame, 91 and 97. Jim Palmer went into 1990. He didn't write it, but there he is. One day Tommy John might get in. There's Lefty again, and then two other really important guys from the 70s, former teammates actually, championship teammates. Nolan Ryan, who inscribed 57-14 strikeouts, and Tom Seaver. And we wish him the best, of course. Don Sutton, Hall of Fame 98, Burt Blyleven, 3701 Ks, and his uniform number 28 he wrote there, if you can't read it. Frank Robinson, another one that we lost earlier in the year, Hall of Fame 82. And Joe Morgan, right next to him. He went in with Jim Palmer in 1990, I believe. There's Raleigh and his cool-looking mustache, Raleigh Fingers. Robin Yount, who I'm going to make a video of later on this summer with a personal collection I'm doing. I've been working on for a long, long time. One of the many autographs I have of Robin Yount, and one of the many I have of Cal Ripken Jr. And I'll show all those as well. A couple great catchers here. Johnny Bench, Hall of Fame 89. And let's see if you can pick up the Carlton Fisk, Hall of Fame 2000. Paul Molitor, he was one of my favorites as well. Robin Yount's teammate for so many years. Another 3,000 hit guy. And Gary Carter, Expo and Met great. And I met him many times and he was just a joy to come across. And that's it. And we have all the certificates from shows and such, and photos of guys signing. Kind of cool, Robin Yount and Greg Luzinski, the Bull, and Dave Kingman. So that's it. I have 18 other Hall of Famers on baseballs. I know that doesn't count for this contest, but there are 18 others I have that haven't signed anything other than baseball. So they count in my numbers. So I think it's 58. I think I come up with, which is surprisingly way more than I thought I had. 58 here. They're eligible. So I hope that fits in to your contest rules, and I'm always looking to put out more content of my own on just my collection of baseball cards and memorabilia and autographs and stuff like that. I have other content on the history of the game I have in mind. I'm working on stuff pre-production now, and that'll hopefully hold over once I finish all my top sets that I am posting. So thank you very much, everyone who has already subscribed. Whatever it is, small amount, 49 or so. I'm just getting started. So thank you, Jake, and best of luck with the new season upcoming. Best of luck with your collection. You got some great stuff, some great memorabilia already. A lot of good Brave stuff I saw. And well, talk to everyone soon. Thanks for allowing me to take the time and post some cool stuff. See you guys later.